Welcome back to the channel, folks. Today, we're peeling back the layers on some jaw-dropping controversies shaking China, from rigged beauty pageants exposing elite privilege to vanishing citizens, economic meltdowns, trade wars, and diplomatic firestorms. Trust me, this is just the beginning of the revelations. If you're finding this eye-opening, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and drop a comment below. Your support fuels our deep dives into stories the mainstream often overlooks. Let's dive in. China's participation has long been a blend of national pride and subtle controversy. The 2025 edition of the Miss Global China competition, held amid the vibrant cultural backdrop of Hunan Province, promised to showcase the epitome of Eastern femininity. Women who embodied grace, intelligence, and modern empowerment. Yet, what unfolded was a storm of public outrage, whispered allegations of foul play, and a stark reflection of deeper societal fissures. At the heart of the debacle was the crowning of Zhang Qian as the representative from Liaoning Province, a decision that ignited fierce debates across social media platforms and drew scrutiny to the very foundations of these events. Far from celebrating beauty, the pageant exposed the ugly undercurrents of privilege, manipulation, and inequality that permeate contemporary Chinese society. To understand the uproar, one must first grasp the structure and significance of Miss Global China. Established as a platform to promote Chinese women's achievements on a global stage, the contest attracts contestants from across the nation's provinces, each vying for titles that extend beyond mere aesthetics. The 2025 theme, Beauty and Women's Cultural Empowerment, emphasized not just physical allure, but also talent, social responsibility, and cultural confidence. Broadcast to an estimated 300 million viewers worldwide, the event was organized by international agencies with ties to Chinese cultural bodies, aiming to project an image of a progressive, harmonious China. Contestants underwent rigorous evaluations, including swimsuit rounds, talent performances, and interviews on topics ranging from environmental advocacy to traditional arts. Judges, comprising industry experts, celebrities, and cultural ambassadors, were tasked with selecting winners who could represent the strength and grace of Eastern women. However, the selection process quickly came under fire, particularly in the Liaoning division. Zhang Qian, a 25-year-old with a master's degree from the Communication University of China and experience studying abroad in the United States, emerged victorious. On the surface, her credentials were impressive. She had performed at overseas Chinese New Year galas, interned at a Chicago government office, and even delved into psychology at the Chinese Academy of Sciences. Born into a military family in Beijing, but claiming ancestral roots in Liaoning, Zhang's win was hailed by organizers as a triumph of multifaceted talent. Yet, netizens and critics alike questioned whether her victory stemmed from genuine merit or something more insidious. Whispers of strong connections and a powerful family background flooded online forums, with many pointing to her Beijing origins as evidence of favoritism. Why send a Beijing native to represent Liaoning? One Weibo user lamented. Our province has no shortage of stunning local women. Why import a champion? The backlash intensified when comparisons were drawn to runners-up and third-place finishers from the same division. Viral videos juxtaposed Zhang's stage presence, described by some as awkward and lacking in poise, with the fluid grace of her competitors. Her walk, some joked, evoked more the stiffness of a novice actor than the confidence of a beauty queen. She reminds me of a famous actress trying too hard, quipped a popular blogger, alluding to resemblances with well-known celebrities. Public sentiment echoed a broader disillusionment. If Liaoning, part of China's northeastern region, renowned for producing tall, fair-skinned beauties, couldn't field a more conventionally appealing candidate, what did that say about the judging criteria? The 3 northeastern provinces are supposed to have the most beautiful women, another commenter noted. Has Shenyang run out of talent? This makes us lose face on the global stage. The controversy didn't stop at Liaoning. Similar outcries erupted over winners from other provinces, turning the pageant into a nationwide spectacle of ridicule. In Shanxi, the recipient of the Best Body Award, Zhang Yuxi, faced merciless online mockery. Described as sturdy, or even like a cannonball, her physique deviated from the slender ideals typically celebrated in such contests. Netizens unleashed a barrage of memes, with one viral post suggesting the judges were selecting based on terracotta warrior standards, a nod to Shanxi's famous ancient artifacts. "Hello from Hussein, welcome to Xi'an," the contestant had cheerfully introduced herself, but the warm reception ended there. Critics questioned the judge's seriousness. If this is the best body, what about the rest of Shanxi's women? Are they all champions waiting in line? Sichuan soon joined the fray, with its winner drawing parallels to the previous controversies. Online communities humorously dubbed it a non-ridicule pact among Liaoning, Shanxi, and Sichuan, implying a collective embarrassment that extended to southern China. "The treaty has expanded," one satirical post declared, "now covering the entire South China region." These jests masked a deeper frustration. Why were winners consistently failing to align with public expectations of beauty? Speculation ran rampant. Were ancestors' virtues or family wealth the real deciding factors? In an era where beauty standards have evolved to include diversity and empowerment, these selections seemed regressive, prioritizing something other than visible appeal. Delving deeper, revelations about the pageant's inner workings painted a picture of systemic manipulation. Former contestants and anonymous insiders exposed unspoken rules where financial contributions guaranteed favorable outcomes. Reports suggested that paying up to 200,000 yuan, approximately $28,000 USD, could secure a top 3 finish, funneled through designated training agencies that doubled as judge affiliations. "It's not about beauty, it's about the bankroll," one whistleblower claimed. In Zhang Qian's case, allegations surfaced of irregular qualifications. Despite lacking local household registration or social insurance in Liaoning, she obtained a late-night ancestral proof from a Dalian street office, processed at 2 a.m. by an intern. Such anomalies raised eyebrows. Are neighborhood offices open round the clock for the privileged? Scoring irregularities further fueled suspicions. Talent segments saw undisclosed criteria shifts, with Zhang receiving full marks for a northeastern folk dance not initially weighted. Cultural literacy suddenly accounted for 40% of scores, overshadowing physical appearance at 30%. Changes announced post-preparation. Sponsors, including a Beijing-based cultural media company with shareholder-judge ties, allegedly influenced outcomes, with fees transferred minutes before announcements. Aesthetic consultants, paid in cash on site, sat on panels, blurring lines between evaluation and endorsement. A professor from Zhang's alma mater anonymously revealed internal dissent. Her walk was unsteady, expressions uncontrolled. But sponsor pressure and cultural department directives forced a compromise for symbolism. These manipulations aren't isolated to Miss Global China. Historical parallels abound in Chinese pageants. The 2024 Xi Chong Yang Shan Yi traditional contest saw finalists bypass training via back channels, appearing only for awards. The 70th Miss World China Jiangsu division openly listed sponsorship tiers, 800,000 yuan for top exposure, implying pay-to-play dynamics. One expose claimed championships could be bought for 100,000 yuan. Even high-profile figures like former Jiangsu official Li Yunfang have been linked to exploiting pageants for personal gains, trading influence for favors. In broader entertainment, groups like Evergrande's elite dance troupe catered exclusively to executives, commodifying women as corporate assets. This pattern reflects a societal malaise where power and wealth eclipse merit. Rooted in historical anecdotes like the Qin dynasty's pointing at a deer and calling it a horse, where a eunuch's authority silenced dissent, modern China sees similar distortions. With money and connections, you can redefine beauty, critics argue. Pageants, meant to empower, instead reinforce cynicism. Everything is fixed. Youth learn that effort pales against leverage, eroding trust in institutions. Broader examples abound. Food chains like Shea Catering falsely claim fresh preparations amid pre-cooked scandals. Individuals fabricate genders or credentials with impunity. Under authoritarianism, such behaviors thrive, hollowing justice and morality. The implications extend beyond aesthetics. Beauty pageants, once symbols of hope and purity in ancient China, now politicized commodities. They mirror imbalances in sports, like Chinese football's match-fixing plagues, where referees and clubs collude under gambling influences. Subjective events like diving hide-scoring secrets, favoring insiders. Ultimately, these scandals fray society's fabric, teaching that goodness is purchasable, fairness illusory. To reclaim integrity, pageants must prioritize transparency, public criteria, independent judges, merit-based selections. Only then can they truly empower, fostering a society where beauty stems from authenticity, not affluence. The 2025 Miss Global China fiasco isn't just about crowns. It's a microcosm of China's struggles with equity and ethics. As netizens rally against manipulated victors like Zhang Qian, the call grows for reform. Will these events evolve into genuine celebrations of diversity and talent, or remain playgrounds for the elite? The answer lies in confronting the power dynamics that distort not just beauty, but the very essence of opportunity in modern China. Recent months have amplified these alarms. A viral alert from an online influencer urged vigilance. Disappearances are rampant. Guard your kin fiercely. This surge coincides with bizarre reappearances of celebrities like martial arts icons Jet Li and Donnie Yen, who, after prolonged absences due to illness, resurfaced vibrant on short video apps. Yet, their recoveries fuel speculation of elite privileges, including rumored blood transfusions from youths and illicit organ swaps, igniting public fury. Platforms overflow with harrowing clips. A mother's tearful account of her 17-year-old daughter evaporating within school walls, unseen for over a year. A young woman in Anhui province dissolving into a crowded plaza under watchful cameras, untraceable after weeks. A 24-year-old man out for a casual walk, a 13-year-old girl en route from class, gone. One boy's bicycle journey ended in tragedy. His remains discovered 20 kilometers away after 3 weeks. How, in a surveillance state rivaling dystopian fiction, do lives evaporate so effortlessly? Official tallies for 2024 admit 3.09 million missing souls, 8,450 daily. But skeptics argue the real count dwarfs this, buried in bureaucracy. The Skynet system, a taxpayer-funded behemoth, promises omnipresence, yet yields scant results. A pivotal clue surfaced during a September military spectacle. Footage of CCP leader Xi Jinping and Russian President Vladimir Putin exchanging jests on organ transplants and eternal youth, aspiring to 150 years. What appeared as light-hearted chatter unveiled a grim underbelly, hospitals allegedly catering to the powerful with life-extending procedures, sourced from a shadowy living organ reservoir. Parental advisories proliferate. Never let children stray from view. Compounding suspicions, Tianjin authorities unveiled a donor compensation schedule. 250,000 yuan for a liver, 200,000 for a kidney, down to 12,000 for a cornea. Framed as a 2-year trial to boost humanitarian contributions, it stokes fears of commodifying human parts, potentially legalizing black market trades. A professor's brazen invitation for foreigners to seek transplants in China, boasting abundant resources, drew global condemnation as callous exploitation. Survivors share nightmares, drugged under false pretenses of aid, narrowly escaping abduction via rogue ambulances. Reject stranger-summoned help, dial emergencies yourself, warn forums, pinpointing young males aged 17 to 22 as prime risks. Insiders allege CCP directives shield suspicious transports from scrutiny. A novice officer in Fujian confessed, "We're ordered to ignore certain vehicles, wave them through." Traffic enforcers echo, "Pretend blindness, survival demands it." These revelations tie into eerie discoveries. Heaps of abandoned ID cards surfacing in caves near Guizhou reservoirs or snagged by Hubei anglers. In a credential-dependent society, such discards imply catastrophe. Eric Liu, a defector from Jiangsu's official circles, exposed to the Epoch Times. A veiled force thwarts searches. The party's 100 million cadres demand sustenance. Ordinary lives are expendable. Long accused of harvesting from detainees, dissidents, Uyghurs, and Falun Gong adherents, the regime's net allegedly widens to civilians. As long as this system endures, terror reigns. Amid these human tragedies, China's economy plummets into what analysts dub the Great Stagnation. Foreign firms exodus en masse. Over 1,000 departed this year, shuttering factories and offices, unleashing unemployment tsunamis. Manufacturing hubs, once buzzing with assembly lines, now echo with silence, stranding millions. Service sectors falter, unable to absorb the influx. Desperation manifests starkly. Women, often rural migrants, resort to street solicitation, earning meager 50 yuan per encounter, barely enough for sustenance. Educated youth fare no better. Medical graduates pivot to coal mines or gig deliveries, their diplomas gathering dust. This malaise permeates all strata. Masters holders scramble for menial roles, while small enterprises buckle under debt, slashing jobs or folding entirely. Giants teeter, amplifying layoffs. Land sales, a fiscal lifeline for localities, crater, starving governments of revenue. Civil servants endure months without pay.